아리랑 서리랑 아라리가 났네. 아리랑 아라리가 났네. 정채원 하늘엔 잔별도 많고.
Sound is very much related to our sense of hearing, so it's like a very strong part of our life, and it complements like the visual, and I work a lot with audiovisual works, so sound is very important for me.
아리랑 아라리가 났네. 한국 최남단 보배 섬진도 인심이 좋아서 살기가 좋네. 아리랑 서리랑 아라리가 났네.
So I plan to collect the sounds here that are very pure and typical for the landscape also, so you can hear and immediately see in what kind of landscape this is. And also the same with the sounds. But then also like to mix it up and make distortions, but to clear it up at the end and to get a nice composition of this environment here.
서리랑 아라리가 났네. 아리랑 아라리가 났네.
An island of sounds. Jindo is where the sounds of people and nature abound as they are. An artist has come to this island in search of the unique sounds of Korea.
I want to record sounds of the nature, like on the seaside, because we're on an island and very close to the sea, and also of the wind, because it's very windy here, and also like when it's more connected to the people, the sounds of the traditional music, like of the drums, the flutes, or what I can experience here. I will search and find and collect the sounds.
Four to 5 hours drive from Seoul brings them to the island where evening has already arrived. Living up to its nickname, Jindo greets its visitors every weekend with diverse sounds and performances. This is a performance titled Chorya by Sopo Folk Art Troupe. Through its drum performance, singing, and dancing, it recreates the native funeral traditions.
Actually, the whole performance was super interesting for me, but especially the Buknori part was very nice because it was very powerful and energetic and nice to see. I think with the Buknori part, that was for me quite interesting, is like the sound, how deep it goes, like how I can feel it, how loud it is, and the dynamics of this sound, and how they work with this, like to get slower, faster, and having a deep impact and like catching the attention of the audience. And I think they have also a lot of other stories to tell. And I think that's why they are quite interesting to meet and talk with them.
Hoping to meet the performers, Stefan decides to pay a visit to Sopori village. On his way to the village, he encounters a pleasant surprise. It's a large drum, something he did not expect to see. He approaches it with curiosity.
I got a little bit too excited, I think, with the drum because of the sound and the movement. It's really nice to see this vibration. The first point was interesting to see like such a big drum because it's not an everyday thing I can see or experience. And then I'm also curious about the sound of this drum, and also like that it's like in this free space. It's not a closed environment. It's like you can also hear like other sounds. Like you can hear the dog and you can hear birds singing, and then you have this huge drum. And actually, I'm also curious like how it sounds like from more far away. And like with this huge drum, and it has like this very huge field, so it creates like a very, very deep frequency sound when you hit it. And I think when I hit it, I can also feel it, and that's why I think people who play the drum can get very excited, and also like the audience can get very excited about this sound.
Sopori of Jindogun is a typical farming and fishing village. Upon his arrival, Stefan heads straight to a place where he can hear the drum sounds.
안녕하세요.
아이고, 들어오세요. 어떤 일이십니까요? 아이고, 외국분이.
안녕하세요.
들어오세요.
For Kim Ne-shik, the legendary master of Pugnori in Sopo Golgun Nongak, a cultural heritage, the sound of Puk represents the life he has dedicated to this field.
You have a lot of pictures of your performances here. So since how long are you doing this?
금년까지 지금 62년 했어.
The Puk has been a part of his life ever since he was 17 years old. With a drum slung across his shoulders and the sticks in his hands, he was ready to perform anywhere, anytime.
이것이 국거리요. 그러고 이제 이 설복 칠 때 할 때는 하겠어? 한번 해봐. 이렇게. 아이고, 기가 커서.
Stefan takes the drumsticks without hesitation. Will his drum beats be able to move the master's heart?
펑! 옳지. 그거요. 금방 하겠구만. 잘해. 북이 좋은 이유는 장구는 잘잘한 가락이 많이 들어간 게 그것은 멀리 안 들려. 그런데 이 북은 3km 이상을 이 들려. 소리가, 이 북소리가.
Worn out by age, These drums are his companion of 62 years. From the past, this was a village frequented by ferries. Until 1984, when the Jindo-daegyo Bridge was built, boats connecting Jindo and Mokpo would come and go. Although it is a small village, its residents are full of merriment and talent. Stefan is now on his way to meet Han Nam-re, the oldest singer in Sopo Folk Art Troupe.
안녕하세요.
네, 들었어.
Yeah, I saw your performance yesterday. And do you maybe want to sing the song again?
나 소리 한 대 봤어? 그러면 그 소리 한번 다시 해주라고? 한번 해볼까? 아리랑 스리랑 아라리가 났네 아리랑 아라리가 났네 오늘 갈지 내일 갈지 모르는 세상 내가 심은 호박방모 단장이 넘네
A measure for life's trials and a measure for happiness. Her soulful voice is the result of life's joys and sorrows and the passing time.
진도 아리랑 좋아요?
Very nice.
진도 아리랑 좋아.
좋아요. It was great to hear the Jindo 아리랑, and also like to hear with my headphones, and then also like sitting right in front of you. So thanks a lot. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. 가서 잘 녹음 소리 들어보세요. 알겠어? 녹음하면 알아먹겠어?
As an artist who works with sounds, Stefan is used to hearing something new every day. The raw sounds of life that he encounters during his trip to Jindo, however, create a different kind of resonance.
Jindo 아리랑 song, I was recording, was just before listening to it, and it sounds really nice, and when I listen to it again, it's like a very nice, even if I don't understand the language, it's like nice to listen to it. So therefore I'm not yet sure how to use it, but I'm sure there will be a way, or in the next days when I experiment with the sounds, that I will find a way how to use it.
Jindo is the hometown of not only sounds, but also poetry, writing, and painting. Namhwa, the southern style of painting that appeared in the late Joseon dynasty, also originated from Jindo. More specifically, Unlim Sanbang served as its cradle. The place where Sochi Horyeon, an artist from the 19th century, used to live and paint. Unlim Sanbang invites Stefan into a more primitive form of nature.
이 작품은 울림각도예요, 제목이. 근데 소치 선생님이 여기 그 울림산방을 소재로 해서 뒤에 첨찰산하고 같이 이 지역을 그리고 여기에서 쭉 지내면서 일상생활을 자기 일기처럼 써서 위에다 같이 그림을 그린 그런 작품이에요.
Having returned to his hometown at the age of 49, the painter depicted his 10 lonely years that he spent here on the canvas.
I like to watch them. It's very interesting for me because I come from a different culture. It's always nice to see them, and also then of seeing a lot of them, like to see the differences a little bit, even if I cannot distinguish so much yet.
The name 울림 삼방 was derived from the forest of clouds that formed due to the morning and evening fog.
운무산소화는 뭐냐면은 구름하고 안개를 주제로 해서 그린 그림이에요. 아주 단순화시키고 복잡한 것은 거의 절제시키고 안개하고 구름으로만 간략하게 표현을 하는 그림이 이번에 독특한 그런 기법이죠. 여기 울림산방하고도 어울리네요. 여기는 이제 울림각, 또 소치 선생 생각, 그 다음에 여기 조선시대 때 있던 연못, 그렇게 해서 구경 한번 해보시게요.
The house, though small, seems to reflect the painter's sense of beauty. The Obangji pond, created by Hyeon himself, represents the universe, while the round island in the middle symbolizes a man.
여기는 소치 선생님의 생각으로.
When Hyeon returned to his hometown, this used to be a remote and lonesome mountain village. Here the artist walked along the stone path, cultivated the land as a pastime, and painted the sceneries of the four seasons.
So he was always sitting and enjoying life.
200년 전에 그분도 그랬을 거예요.
Yeah, it's very peaceful and quiet here, and it feels like the time passes by much slower than in the city where everything happens so fast. Yeah, while sitting over there with Mr. Chong, I could hear the wind smashing the door, and it was like a nice cracking of the sound. And like while doing this, I figured out like how nice the sound is. It sounds like a brass instrument, like it's played very slowly, and the breathing of a human. Other connections to my other works is that like the sound of the door is like kind of perceived as a malfunction normally, but when you use it and put it in another context, or you use it as a sound in a like kind of music, then it gets a new function and can be something pure and nice.
Jindo's nature is portrayed in many artists' works. As the third largest island in Korea, Jindo is made up of a number of small isles. That's why one must visit the isles in order to truly experience Jindo's nature. And hence, Stefan finds himself at Jindo Port early in the morning. He is on his way to meet those whose lives revolve around the wide blue ocean. On Hajedo Island, the destination of this boat, Stefan will get to see Jindo's nature in its entirety after getting a glimpse of it at Ullim Sanbang. But rather than enjoying the view, he begins to record something. What sounds could have inspired him at this moment?
I was recording some sounds the ferry is producing, like with the engine, or like the water the ferry is moving, and also the air the engine is sucking in. like the sound because like it has like very deep frequencies, and it has like very the moving is very like long waves forms, and I can really feel this rhythm, and it's also a little bit kind of touching, emotional, and I can really imagine like if I stand there and hear this long time, like how it makes me like thinking about anything, like not just specific about the sound, but also like just living my thoughts, travel and think about other things.
The landscape of an island is very different from the cityscape. As someone from a landlocked country, Stefan is intrigued by the many sounds of the ocean. He arrives in Hajodo. Located in Jodomyeon of Jindogun, the island offers a breathtaking view of the Tado Sea. A delightful encounter awaits him, making him feel like a child again.
안녕하세요. 가위바위보. Are you good? 가위바위보. Oh.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
오스트리아 사람이요.
오스트리아에서 또 오스트리아.
오스트리아. 오스트리아 알아요?
몰라요.
몰라요. 안녕. 바이바이.
The island is a miniature version of Korea. It has the mountains, the ocean, and the sounds of nature. Hajodo Island introduces Stefan to diverse sounds of nature. Nature sounds are soft and relaxing, comforting the listeners. The island has a special feature. It is a white lighthouse that guides the boats passing by the Jodo archipelago. First lit up in 1909, it bears a long history of more than 100 years. Things of the past that reflect the last century now serve as the island's attractions.
Hi.
Hello, Mr. Kim. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, I saw this bell, but what is it for?
이 종은 바다에 안개가 꼈을 때 선박들이 지나갈 수 있도록 소리로써 전달을 해주는 겁니다. 소리.
Would it be possible that you hit it for me?
Yes. It's here.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Very nice. Oh, can I try it? Great. Would you mind if I record the sound of the bell?
Yes, sir.
The sounds made by the lighthouse are loud and sharp, for they need to penetrate the darkness and the fog. However, what seems like a racket is a source of creativity for Stefan.
이거는 지금 저희 등대가 현재 사용하고 있는 겁니다. 저거는 에어사인이라고 해서 이제 공기를 압축하기 위해서 사용을 했는데 거기에는 기름이 들어가고 또 약간의 구동적인 그런 문제가 있어서 지금은 디지털 방식, 소리로만 부저 방식입니다. 이건 띠, 에어사인에는 뿡, 이건 띠 하는 겁니다.
The sounds of this bell and the horn is interesting for me because they're not usual sounds for me because I'm not living on the sea, like Austria has no sea, and you can then hear them just here. Like the sounds for me is like makes me starting thinking, and also like to brings me to new ideas and it just release myself and starts making a process of thinking and getting new ideas also. Like within this, hearing the sounds and working with the sounds, and because they're very intense, and for me it's like something, yeah, it makes me kind of free.
To the artist, all sounds that he comes across in his everyday life become an inspiration.
오늘 갈지 내일 갈지 모르는 세상.
The sounds are a reminder of the moments that he was a part of and the sceneries that he had met with his eyes.
Here, a Walkman, but it's like the way I work is like I open it and then touching with my finger I change the sound or make some distortion. I have the recorder I used the whole day for recording the sounds, and I have of course a mixer and speaker and the computer where I record everything.
생각이라 한다면 가시던 꿀이
Yeah, the process of making the sounds is like, at the moment I have them in the recorder, and it's like the raw source what I recorded. And for example, I could play back this now. I can play back this now. It's like the sound I recorded 2 days ago with this door, and it's very clear now. And at the end, it sounds a little bit like.
모르는 세상.
So you can still hear Miss Han a little bit. You can hear the book also in the background, and there's also the water I was recording, and also the wind and birds, but totally distorted and like in this way where I also make my live performances. With short circuits, just the audio signal gets modified, and then like from this process, making this again recordings, I want to work and kind of starting point of distortion to get away and take away this distortion and to get these clear sounds and come back to the singing of Miss Han.
journey's third sound awaits him in Tamyang of Jeollanam-do Province.
I think it's always very interesting to talk with performers, like that use traditional instruments, like how they think and how they use them, and then to talk with them, like to find out what could be other way to use them, or if they also interested in experiment with the instruments. So I think that's always a good idea, like to have a conversation and then to find out what could be there, what else to do.
As the home of bamboo trees, the county is the manufacturer of Korea's traditional instruments that are made of bamboo. The bamboo trees of Jungno-gon welcome him. Undaunted by the cold spell and standing tall and proud, they seem to reflect the integrity of the past scholars. An artist has turned the bamboo landscape into a piece of media art. His artworks connect the past and the present, the West and the East, and the analog and the digital.
Oh, hello, nice to meet you.
반갑습니다. 어떠세요? 작품?
Very nice. I just saw some of your works on the way to here, and it's like super nice to see them like this traditional mixed with contemporary art. Yeah, also, I would be interested, like, what did inspire you to make this artwork, especially this work?
제가 고전야를 차용한 이유가 이 그림 원작 자체가 대중들이 좋아하고 또 관심 있는 그런 산수화이기 때문에, 특히나 서양 사람들은 이런 회화들을 접할 기회가 많이 없기 때문에, 그래서 이런 고전 회화를 차용해서 하게 되었습니다.
Lee Inam was born in Tamyang. Bamboo trees are ingrained in his childhood, and now they are an important motive for his art.
중록원에 자주 오게 되는데 어느 날 햇빛을 보게 됐어요. 그래서 사람이 햇빛을 잘 못 보는데 대숲에서는 볼 수가 있더라고요. 이 대나무 중록원 안에서, 대숲 안에서 태양을 우리가 보는 것은 대숲 밖에서 보는 거와 다르기 때문에 대나무 안에서 보면 어떻게 될까, 이런 생각을 이제 하게 됐어요. 그래서 이제 촬영을 하게 됐어요.
Is the spot like of this video what you took, is this around here? Is it very close?
가까워. 이렇게 입구 한번 가실래요?
Okay.
오케이.
To an artist, identifying with a fellow artist is always a stimulating experience.
여기 있지요. 좀 더 가서 여기.
Okay.
here. 대나무가 이렇게 흔들리고 여기서 햇볕이 들어오잖아요. 그럼 변화가, 햇볕의 변화. 대숲 안에서 태양을 이렇게 보는 거예요. 근데 태양이 이제 대숲 밖에서 보는 거랑 틀리죠. 그래서 이게 대나무가 보는 어떤 시선, 이렇게 태양을 이렇게 보는 거죠. 빛이 틀린 거예요. 대나무 안에서 보는. 그래서 이 작품을 하게 됐어요.
Okay. Also, like for here, like I was going to this forest and making the recordings. It was a really nice experience, like to hear the wind blowing, and it's first time for me that I'm in a bamboo forest, and I only know it from the movies. So it's really nice to see. Like, even I wish it would be a bit more bigger. But yeah, it's a really nice experience to see this, like bamboo in real life.
Sounds are a record of time. Whenever he hears the wind blow through the leaves, he will look back on the time he communed with nature, remembering the green bamboo forest and the radiant sun. After they've fully grown, bamboo trees are reborn as instruments in the hands of Akijang, an instrument maker. How will the sounds made by the bamboo instruments inspire Stefan? Stefan visits the master with a new travel mate. Park Ji-ha is a performer and composer who is a member of the Kugak band Sum. She is a new generation musician who plays the Korean piri and senghwang.
안녕하세요.
네, 어서 오세요.
Tamyang has many master craftsmen who use bamboo. Kim Song-nam is one of them. Each and every one of these instruments is completed with his hands. Most of Korean traditional instruments are made with natural materials. Those that are made with bamboo trees are called jukbu. Kim Song-nam's jukbu are characterized by the subtle changes in their tones. Most Akijang can also play their instruments adeptly. It is a skill they need to check the quality of the instruments they have made.
Mr. Kim, I'm interested, like, because I saw you just made the holes without the measurement tool. Or how did you make the tool, like the holes? Are you so experienced to make just?
지금 이거 치수 틀을 만들어 놨습니다. 치수를, 예. 예, 치틀을 만들어 놔가지고, 이제 속의 내공에 따라서 약간씩 음이 다르거든요. 구멍이, 속의 내공이 크면은 음이 낮아요. 그렇기 때문에 이 틀에서 이제 약간씩 올려서 뚫고, 예, 구멍이 이제 딱 치수가 맞으면은 제 치수대로 뚫면 맞습니다. 예.
A sorrowful sound that tugs at the heartstrings of the listeners.
예, 서양 악기하고는 좀 달라요. 서양 악기는 딱 이렇게 치수대로 정확하게 딱 맞는데, 여기 이제 국악기는, 한국 국악기는 이제 부는 사람이 이제 이렇게 어느 정도, 예, 조정해서 불게끔 그렇게 만들어져 있죠. 원래 또 그 옛날부터 내려올 때, 옛날 사람들이 만들 때도 이제 뭐 어떤 특별한 어떤 기구가 있어서 만든 게 아니고, 예, 자기가 이제, 예, 뭐 기구도 별로 없이 이렇게, 예, 소리 듣고, 예, 귀로 듣고 이제 이렇게 판단해 가지고 만든 거기 때문에, 예, 약간씩 차이가 있죠. 예, 만든 사람에 따라서.
그림도 직접 그리시는 거예요?
예, 그 인두로. 원래는 이제 불에 달궈가지고 하는 인두를 사용하는데, 네, 편리하게 이걸로 이제 이렇게 그려놓으니까 훨씬 품위도 있고 좋잖아요.
이 안에 빨간 거 칠하시잖아요.
예, 예.
그거는 뭐예요?
이거 이제 안에 이제 원래는 오칠을 하면 좋죠, 오칠. 대나무가 잘못하면 짜개지고 또 바람이 셀 수가 있거든요. 그래서 이제 이 안에 칠을 해주죠, 오칠을. 그리고 이제 바람을 계속 불어넣으니까 안에 침이 들어가잖아요. 그러면 이제 곰팡이가 펴요. 그래서 오칠을 해주면은 이제 그런 면에 있어서 이제 방지도 되고, 예, 좋죠.
선생님 제가 이거 한번 불어봐도 되죠?
그래요.
The clear sound of the bamboo piti goes straight to the heart and washes away the troubles locked up inside. Now it's time to experience Pungnyu, or the appreciation of the arts, like the scholars in the past. The two head to Seosaewon, which many regard as the epitome of traditional Korean gardens. Believed to have been built around 1530, it has been preserved in its original state by 15 generations of descendants.
Actually, I was there.
여기 경치 어때요?
Yeah, the scenery is very beautiful. Also to see this natural bamboo forest.
한국의 옛날 선조들은 어떤 이런 풍경이나 이런 것들을 인위적으로 바꾸지 않고 이 소세원처럼 이제 가지고 있는 자연에다가 자기들이 생활할 수 있는 공간을 이렇게 만든 거잖아요. 그래서 그런 것들이 되게 재미있고 의미 있는 것 같아서.
So your performance is always very improvised and you play very spontaneously. So is there some melodies or something you can play here?
Yeah, because
Wow, I've never seen this before. What's the name of this instrument?
this one called 생황.
Senghwan.
Yeah, 생황.
Senghwan.
This is like a mouth organ.
Okay.
Yeah, in bamboo pipe, many bamboo pipes. This one is 24.
Okay.
Yeah, this instrument can make a harmony. Yeah, actually Korean traditional instrument. The other instrument can play just only melody.
Okay.
Yeah, but this one especially can make a harmony.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks very futuristic, actually.
All right.
The Senghwang sounds as mystical as it looks. The instrument is also called bongseng due to its resemblance to the legendary bird bonghwang with its wings folded. Its sounds also take after the cry of the bird, which is said to be composed of 5 different tones.
It's not only machinery building this instrument, it's really important that there is this person who has this knowledge and he'll study it for a long time, and also when he plays the instrument and sees if it's tuned right, and then it drills again a little bit and finds out if it's really in tune. And
The sounds of Senghwang resonate throughout the quiet garden on the back of the wind.
birds singing, even if it's that cold, there are still birds singing here. Yeah, it was nice, and also to hear this difference and to see like these different kinds of instrument made out of bamboo. Yeah, I think I'm ready with the idea or the concept I want to do for the exhibition on Saturday.
Sounds also reflect the years gone by. While some sounds are born and die out in their era, others continue, untouched by time, like the sounds at Sosewan. Embodying the Pungnu enjoyed by the past scholars, Sosewan turns into a graceful stage for art. Every month, on the Saturday that is closest to the full moon, the Pungnu Garden Moonlight Performance is held. This month, its theme is the soulscape of Sosewan.
네, 소세원에 48영이라는 하석 김민호 선생님의 그 시조가 있습니다. 소세원에 48가지 경치를 표현해서 48영을 지으셨는데 그 지으셨던 영 중에 저희가 7개 영을 뽑아서 그 하나하나 영마다 그 장소의 의미를 담아서 그 경치의 아름다움을 노래했던 그런 시조예요. 그래서 그런 시를 저희가 공간에 맞게 저쪽에 대나무와 또 광풍각 그리고 저쪽 광석 이런 곳을 잡아서 해당하는 영들을 이렇게 이 공연에 담아서 표현을 해드렸습니다.
자, 오늘 풍류 남도나들이 사업에 또 이렇게 와주신 여러분 고맙습니다. 바로 시작을 하겠습니다.
The 48 different sceneries of the garden are reborn as media art. The audience meets the beautiful lady at Gwangpunggak Pavilion, where peach blossoms are in full bloom, while the sound of Taegum flows through the bamboo forest.
정말 여기 이 소세원의 풍경은 이 하나의 소리를 모아주는 환상적인 공간이에요. 그래서 연주자분들과 연기자분들을 그 어떤 한 곳에 모으지 않고 각기 각 장소에 연기와 연주를 함으로써 그 앞에 그 소리도 하나의 우리 관객들에게 시선을 끌어주는 역할로서 각 포지션별로 해서 작품을 설치를 했습니다.
The landscape of Sosewan continues to evolve, nearing its climax. The last act shows the garden covered in snow, enveloping the audience in a dreamlike atmosphere.
Yeah, it would be interesting to have an exhibition or a performance here, because mostly like my works are not so much site-specific or related to the space where they are shown, and it would be interesting to work here and to find something. And also like now after this trip and getting more and more into Korean traditional places and also instruments, so it could be very nice to find out and to see what could happen here if I spend some time here and work on the project.
After completing his journey of sounds, Stefan is back in Seoul. He is busy preparing his special exhibit. He has created new works of art using the sounds he encountered on his trip.
I'm installing the sound installation. That's the outcome of the trip I did the last days. So I'm setting up the 2 speakers and the small tape recorder over here, and then I worked on my recordings, and then it will be this stereo kind of free channel installation. At the end, When the sound from the speakers stop, then the tape recorder will start and play back the Siyon Jin ArTravel from Miss Han.
이쪽에서 피리 소리 나고 이쪽에서 생황 소리 나는 게 약간 화음처럼 이렇게 들렸는데 약간 오케스트라 듣는 것처럼 좋았어요.
일단 짧은 공연이었지만 기승전결이 확실했던 것 같아요. 바다로 배를 타고 들어가서 이제 할머니 소리로 끝나잖아요, 민요로. 그래서 기승전결이 확실한 공연이었던 것 같아서 좀 인상이 깊었고요. 네. 그래서 뭔가 외국인의 시선으로 한국의 소리를 담은 것 같아서 좀 인상적이고 색다른 공연이었습니다.
And these artworks appear a lot of landscapes, like a lot of recordings I did at the different landscapes. Like one was nice to remember, and you can hear the water, so it's connected to the beach, and also like the sunset, the wind from the bamboo forest. So there's a lot of landscapes now. It's possible like to hear like some details of this recording. This trip just finished, so and for me, from my experience, like because I do trips like this very often and then work with this experience of these trips. So it will be the same for this trip too, I'm sure, but it will take some time because it always takes some time and process for me to work on it, and I'm pretty sure there will be some other stuff also coming out inspired by this trip in the far or near future.